Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if it is your first time here. My name is Jess. I feel like a broken record, but I cannot believe that it is 2023. I can't believe that I'm sitting down to film my reading goals for 2023. It just does not feel like it should be a brand new year at all. I have no idea what happened to the latter half of 2022. It just seemed to go by in a blink. So fast. So happy new year. I guess time waits for no one. Here we are looking at my reading hopes and aspirations for 2023, and I don't actually have that many famous last words, but this is probably going to be quite a short video. I'm going to try and keep it quite a short video because I'm trying to go into 2023 with a little bit more of a realistic aspiration and not get too kind of caught up in the stats or the figures or that sort of thing. I didn't actually have that good of a reading year in 2022. I think my average rating was 3.5 stars. I definitely didn't read that many 5 stars. I don't think I read any books that I would say are going on to like my firm favourite books of all time. I had some good reads, but just not amazing reads, and I think that was largely because I was very busy with work and I just ended up picking up things I didn't necessarily really want to read. I definitely lost the mood reader element of who I am as a reader. I very much tried to read for videos and because certain books were popular and lots of people were talking about them, which is obviously something that certain people can do and it doesn't matter, but for me I very much have to be in the mood for a book in order to enjoy it. So trying to have a bit more of a relaxed approach to my reading, but I would like to lay out some goals and intentions for the year. So I do have a couple. I've written them down in my notebook. If you catch me looking down, that's what I'm doing. So firstly, I'm going to continue with my Smash the TBR challenge. That was something that I started quite strongly in the early part of 2022 and then it sort of drifted off as life and things got busy, but I would like to continue with that. I have sat down and looked again at all of my unread books. I have a total of physical books, 312. No idea how many Kindle books I've got at the moment. That's something to worry about on another day. So 312 physical books. I'm obviously not going to be able to read all of those in 2023, but I did very much enjoy, as much as I've just said that it did impact on my reading, that I was picking things up that I didn't necessarily want to read. At the same time, I did also enjoy the challenge of picking up things that I wouldn't necessarily have reached for. I just need to find a bit more of a balance with those two things. So I'm going to continue with those video challenges and those reading challenges and hopefully make a little bit more of a dent in those books. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not going to buy books because I think I have said that for the past 3 years and it just doesn't happen. The minute the words come out of my mouth, I'm on Waterstones or Amazon looking at books that I want to buy. So I'm not going to say that. I'm going to try and not to buy books, but I'm not going to restrict myself. If I want something, I'm going to get it. However, I am also going to try and use my library a bit more. So I went and got a library card over Christmas and I'm going to try and get some library books, particularly for the next challenge that I'm going to talk about, which is a 12 book challenge. If I'm not certain that I'm going to love a book, I'm going to try and save some money and get the book from the library instead. So first one is to continue with my Smash the TBR. So exactly like last year, if you've got any thoughts or ideas, I have kept a note of the ones that have been suggested to me and I'm going to slowly work my way through them. I just don't have an infinite amount of time to read, unfortunately. So that's the first one. In terms of Goodreads Storygraph yearly reading challenges, I've set it this year at 75, which is the highest that it has ever been. I've very solidly stuck at 60 for the last few years and then have slowly gone over and over and over that. I read 72 books in 2022, so I feel pretty good about being able to reach 75. So I'm kind of easing away from the 60 and we're going to go with 75. Whether I get there or not, I don't know, although I do have a plan to read a couple of short story anthologies this year, which will obviously be much quicker than if you're reading an 800-page book, that kind of thing. So my overall goal is 75. I would also like to finish reading the Women's Prize for Fiction books that I started in 2022. I think I did one video. I do have all of those books now, and I would like to finish that challenge. I think what I didn't necessarily appreciate is that none of the books are massively quick reads, and so it takes me a little bit longer than it takes me to read some of the other books that I pick up. So I need to have a little bit more of a realistic expectation there as well, which I think is something that I've said for a couple of these challenges now, and that's very much what I'm trying to carry forwards into this year, is realistic expectations over what I want to read, how long it's going to take me, what I want to do, that kind of thing. And it's very much going to feed into my channel and my social media, and my expectations for those as well is just to be realistic. I work full-time, I have 2 children, I have 3 dogs and a rabbit. I have 2 small businesses plus my full-time job, so in terms of my capacity for what I can read, it is somewhat limited, and I just need to be a bit kinder to myself, I think, in terms of not putting so much pressure on myself to produce content, to film videos, to read books, and just enjoy reading, because ultimately that is what it's about for me. I love reading, I love sitting here and talking about the books I have read, and I love chatting and building relationships with other people who also love to talk about the books that they have read. But I think overall I need to be kinder to myself with my expectations for what that might look like. So there is that. I would like to finish the Women's Prize. As I say, I have all the books, I just need to now get to them, and I've got a couple of other challenge ideas that I want to do in 2023, all being well. And then the final challenge that I'm going to set myself really is a 12 book challenge. So I saw this over on Instagram, and it was basically people asking for their friends and their followers to recommend them 12 books. And I got quite a lot of suggestions. Some of them I had already read and some of them I hadn't, so I sort of picked the 12. A couple of them I couldn't get copies of either, I couldn't find the books, so I didn't discard them unnecessarily. But I've picked 12 books that I am hopefully going to try and read one a month, and this is very much where my library card comes into play, because I don't know much about these books and I don't know whether I'm going to enjoy them or not. Some of them I already have, some of them I don't. So that's where I'm going to use the library. So we have got The Whalebone Theatre, Project Hail Mary, The Witchfinder's Sister, Hunted, The Summer That Melted Everything, Paper Girls, Blackberry and Wild Rose, Under the Whispering Door, Keep It in the Family, Last One to Die, All My Mothers, and Once and Future Witches. And I love that some of those books I knew about, but the majority of them I had never heard of, so really looking forward to seeing what that throws up throughout the year as well. In terms of a very quick channel update, I said I was trying to keep this video quite concise. I'm still going to aim for once a week. If you followed my channel for a while, you'll know that I kind of ebb and flow with my uploads. So I go through periods of being really good and having 1 a week, sometimes 2 a week, and then I sort of drift off when life gets busy and I don't manage to upload. So I'm going to try and stick to 1 upload a week. I have set out a 3-month plan for myself, which I feel like is quite achievable, but we will have to see. I really am grateful that you stick with me when I drift off, when I don't upload, that you appreciate that life is busy and that things happen, and that it's not just thinking of the concepts and then reading the books and filming, but it's also the editing and all of that that goes on with it as well. So actually from 2022 I've got quite a lot of footage of video concepts that I never finished, because either I was missing a couple of clips or I just didn't have the time to sit and edit them, and by the time I did, then the whole thing had just sort of fizzled out and lost its energy. So there's quite a lot of things that are like non-starters as well. But I'm definitely hoping to be a bit more consistent in 2023. As I say, I do this, it's very much a hobby, and I do it because I enjoy chatting about books and chatting with all of you about books, but I would like to just get that little bit of consistency through as well. And I'm also continuing with my book club for 2023. I will leave a link in the description box if you're interested in finding out more about that. I know I have to say it because it's my book club, but it is a really great group. I love our discussions each month. I love that we now talk about the book, but we also talk about other things as well. The friendships that are growing through the group and all of that. It's just a really great time, and I'm looking forward to the books that we are going to be reading throughout the year as well. So yeah, if you're looking for a challenge and you want to join a book club for the year, then I highly recommend my own book club. As I say, all the information will be in that link if you follow it. So there is that. And then I've just got a couple of other plans related to Cozy Book Co, but that is definitely one area where I'm going to take it slow, and as I've said repeatedly now, be kind to myself over my expectations. So I have officially closed my Catch a Single Thought blog, which was what started all of this and was very much family life orientated, and then it moved into books with a little bit of travel and lifestyle, but I've officially moved away from that now. Just having kids who are 13 and 11 and they have their own social media presence and their lives online and all of that, the content wasn't quite there, and I didn't have the time to commit to it either. So I've officially closed that blog. I am focusing more on the small business side of Cozy Book Co. I do have some thoughts and some ideas. I've got my newsletter for January ready to go. I just need a couple of things to pop into there. So if you're interested in that, again, all the information will be in the description box. I've got some merch that I want to launch along with the book boxes, which I was really frustrated not to get off the ground last year, but again, being kind to myself over the time that I have. And I do have a couple of ideas for retreats, reading retreats or meetups, but very much just in the pipeline at the moment. So yeah, there's that as well. So lots of different things going on outside of just reading, but at the heart of this channel it's always going to be reading books, because that's what I love to do. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this year I read some really, really good books, because I do feel like that was lacking last year, and I would like to get some 5-star reads out of the year. Please, hopefully, think good thoughts about that. So yeah, that is very much it. I hope that you have enjoyed watching this. Do let me know what your goals are for 2023. I'm bound to want to add more to them as soon as I click off and stop recording this video, but as always, I love to chat more with you about books and all things bookish. So what are your goals? How many books are you hoping to read for this year, or have you got a yearly TBR, something like that? Do leave me a comment and let me know. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you are all keeping safe and well. Take care, and I'll see you soon.